There's a moment just before we bend the truth that can teach us a lot about ourselves. Today we're going to pause right in the middle of that moment and take a look at how honesty can become a path to self-mastery. Hi, I'm Jean-Pierre and welcome to The Further Shore. Here we learn together to embody peace, joy and love. So in that moment between feeling the pull to bend the truth and actually acting on it, we have a window of opportunity here. Instead of just blindly following that pull, we can bring our light of awareness to it, and in that way we can understand where that urge is coming from to lie in the first place, and we can see where this action leads. So how will it touch us and the people around us if we follow through on this bending of the truth? Okay, let's look at an example. We'll keep it easy, light and familiar, but the principles will apply to really the whole spectrum of circumstances or scenarios that we might encounter out there. Let's say someone invited you to a social get-together, but you just don't feel like going. Now you may be tempted to bend the truth and say that you are busy when you really aren't actually. Okay, so let's bring our light of awareness into the situation. The first thing we want to do is be honest with ourselves. And this honesty can start with assessing why we are looking to avoid this get-together in the first place. Why don't we want to do it? Are we just tired? Don't we actually enjoy this particular activity that they've suggested? Do we feel like we just need a weekend curled up with a cat just to recharge our social batteries? Does our budget perhaps not allow us to go out at the moment? We might even notice that we don't even enjoy spending time with this person, and so we might go looking for excuses just to avoid them. From this clearer understanding or insight into our inner world, we now enable ourselves to better choose the next action that we're going to take. Since we now know why we have this aversion to attending, now we can look at how we are honestly going to engage with someone else. So where does this action lead? And here it helps to ask plainly, do we imagine that this lie is actually a kindness? Something that genuinely protects the other person, because I think that's often how we justify it to ourselves and others. The white lie is just a kindness. But does this truly lead to the unbinding of ourselves and the other person? Or is this really a way that we are trying to sidestep our own discomfort, to nudge someone else's response into something that's easier for us to handle? It feels like a white lie has no cost or it has no victims. But typically when we bend the truth, it actually taxes our attention, as we now need to maintain an alternative set of facts. We are planting seeds that we hope will never sprout for someone else to see. And that adds an inner friction in all of these circumstances. You can imagine now you need to remember what you said or gave as a reason as to why you didn't attend. And all of this works against the settling and the unification of the mind. Perhaps even a more subtle cost is the effect that it has on our awareness. Because every time that we look the other way or sell a story to ourselves around why it is okay to tell the white lie, we're actually dulling that awareness with each little misalignment of the head and the heart. You simply cannot continue to dull a knife and then expect it to be sharp all of a sudden when you need it. We train ourselves on how clearly we see, but that cost isn't always that evident in the moment. Now, the whole purpose of this inner awareness exercise isn't to give us a ticket to become abrasive or rude. It also doesn't mean that we have to be opinionated on everything and comment honestly on everything that we see. In fact, it doesn't say that we have to say anything at all. It's a gate, a filter, a consideration before we take an action, before we speak. The awareness brings up just a simple question. What's my true intention behind it? And do I truly see what I'm doing and where this leads? So applying this to our earlier example, we can see that the truth gate may then change how we respond to our friend. We may find it best to share with them that we don't want to go out this weekend because we feel like we need some rest, or that we don't like this particular activity and we're more keen to do that, or perhaps that our budget is a little bit tight this month, but we can do this free activity instead. Or we may not even offer a reason at all. And we may even have to tell them that we'll get back to them with an answer if that's what we need to do to break this old habit of unconsciously answering. I know not every scenario is going to be this neat or this simple, but the principles remain. Hold whatever the circumstances are against your awareness, against your own values and your true intentions, and measure it against the principles that you say you want this relationship to be built on. Because each interaction adds another building block to that relationship. So if you want it built on honesty and mutual respect, you can ask whether this action actually amplifies honesty and respect. And then apply your discernment in deciding the next step. And as with all things related to self-mastery, we're having this discussion not because anyone else is asking this of you, but because it's a form of compassion to yourself and to those that you interact with. It's a way to get to know yourself better and to free your mind from entanglements. And what you'll find is that the truth purifies, deepens, and expands your relationship with self, your relationships with others. And yes, it may be difficult at times, especially when this type of consciously responding and speaking is new to us. But I can assure you that the truth always carries lighter. It frees you up and it supports the settling of the mind and the body. Because now you are planting seeds that you don't worry about flowering for others to see. It's really a step towards embodying peace, joy, and love. If this message resonated with you, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to The Further Shore so you don't miss our next discussion on embodying true freedom. I also share further contemplation pieces like this one every week on the Further Shore newsletter. It's free and you're warmly welcome to join us. Until next time, take care and remember to be kind to yourself.